Alright, what's going on everyone? We are gonna get into some mole mining today. I can't remember the last time I actually streamed Star Citizen, so I think today we're gonna do some streaming of it. I was gonna be playing anyway. So we'll play some, we'll do some mining runs. I am deeply out of money, as everyone is, with the update for 3.23 wiped out everyone's wallets, and I'm skint broke. So to fix that, we're gonna go do some mining. Already got one work order sorted. I've actually already made it. Whoops, it's actually down here now. There we go. It's a weird little change. They've changed a lot about mining. Well, I shouldn't say they've changed a lot, but they have changed some of the like foundational things of it. Like take the mole for instance, right? The mole used to be like front laser is 1, right laser is 2, left laser is 3. Now left laser is 1, right laser is 2, front laser is 3, which was very, very confusing and heartbreaking the first time I took the mole out, because if anyone's been around the channel, you've seen some of my guides and how I set up my mole. The helix goes in front because it's the most powerful laser. It's also the shortest ranged laser. And if you put that in the back, well, now it's kind of annoying to lose. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's pretty annoying to use. I didn't really enjoy that. So it was kind of funny though. I found it highly amusing when that happened. But it is what it is. You know, new patch, new me, new keybinds apparently, and just trying to get used to everything. It's been a trip. It's been a trip for sure. Alright, let's run nav mode. That's not nav mode. Nav mode. Map. And we will go to Arco first. Go to Arco. Valeria. Obstructed. Oh, because I need to. Really? It won't let me map it while I'm in the thing? It's kind of annoying. Well, let's get out of here. I'm pretty sure Valeria is like that way ish. Sort of that way. Alright, what am I doing? I'll just type it in here. I'll play on controller. Sometimes I forget I have a keyboard in front of me. I could just do that. How is it obstructed? It's not obstructed. Did I jump to Arco? Did I jump to Walla? How is it obstructed? What? Let's turn this off. Off. On. F2. I'm not going anywhere. Location is obstructed. Reposition. Try again. Let's see. Okay, so I can quantum jump. It's just whatever direction it is from me. Gotcha. Okay. If that still says it's obstructed, then that means... Although I don't... It's really gonna like hit me on the space station here and say it's obstructed. I hit one of those lights and blow up and be upset. Alright, let's try this again. Is the server just being wonky today? There we go. I think we're good. All right, there you go. Lyria, route, boom. Parkour. There we go. I sometimes forget playing on a controller. Like I have all these keybinds because it's hard to keep track of it all on an Xbox controller. Like the copious amounts of keybinds this game has. Like, I don't even have everything bound to my Xbox controller, which honestly is like pretty funny. But like, if we went into and looked at my keybinds, it's a little silly. Like, look how silly this is. So many keybinds, so many buttons, and the fact that some buttons have like 2, 3, 4 things on them is crazy. And you go to this. Look at this. Look at this. You ever tried remembering all this? Oh my goodness. It's so aggravating. Like, it's pretty good sometimes though, because you know what I mean? Like, it's handy like in combat because everything's kind of just right here. It's not spread out over all of this, right? And you're trying to like manage this. Like, there's no way. I do like how it knows I have 2 buttons on my mouse. That's kind of weird. That's super weird. But very aggravating. But this is where all my money's at. It's in here. I've gone in here and personally redone a lot of these. Like, as you can see, a lot of them are not bound to anything really. But, you know, it is what it is. Look, there's so many keybinds. How are you supposed to keep track of all these keybinds? It must be near. Pretty close. It's usually the least riveting part of my journey, is the long quantum jumps to like places that are worth mining at. I might go aerial after this. I'll do this Arco run, and then we'll take a trip down to the surface of aerial and see how the surface of aerial looks. I've only mined on Lyria, I think, in 3.23 so far. So I did a little bit on Hurston too. Hurston used to never spawn. That's cool. Yeah, Hurston used to never spawn stuff for me, and now it does. Like, I would sit on there for so long before I'd actually see anything of any real substance. Oh yeah. Spool her up. Let's get out of here. Let's skedaddle. Now the long part of the journey's over. The nights in 3.23 are so dark on planets, I find it impossible to see. There we go. Let's see. We'll go towards Teddy's Playhouse, I guess. Yeah. Surface side we go. All the updates they did, optimizations to the graphics, I feel are like so much better. So much better than they were before. Like, I used to struggle with it, but I think now like everything looks pretty crispy. Alright, let's turn off nav mode. How high am I above the surface? 5,000. There's one. Looks pretty good. Give her a scan. Yep. Perfect. The whole nav mode thing is like super annoying. Whoa. All right. Something pretty cool that they added in 3.23 is the scanning for this. So like right now, like if I do this, right, nothing happens. But if I switch to mining mode and I scan, yeah, look at that, huh? That makes it so much easier to identify them. I don't have to like guess what rocks are what. Oh, it's so nice. Ooh, that's a nice little Bexlite rock. Okay, what else we got here? That bad boy is definitely getting cracked here in a minute. It's a pretty lame gold rock. I hope I find a big rock. I was finding big, huge rocks last night. It's a little too big for what I meant. And it's agresium, of course, because I hate agresium. Agresium has the worst stats and like not great selling value for that. I never really quite understood that. But yesterday I found like these huge rocks, like 60, 50K rocks. And unfortunately, I was unable to break them because I forgot to bring surges with me. And I was like, that's right, a new patch did update. It did update. Ooh, Quantanium. That's like 1 SCU of it though. Don't love that. Let's go crack this bad boy. 23K. Should be able to bust this pretty easily with my Helix. Alright. Oh, that scared me. I thought we were drifting backwards. It should be right in my Helix's range. Hop her in, let's spin her up. They also have this new annoying thing with the turrets, right? So when I turn, you see how it's not lined up? It's like a new default thing. It's pretty annoying. But if you're doing this, all right, I've learned if you hit left alt L, it will recenter it. But now the display, I don't know if it's probably like an error that it like jitters like this and like updates. Oh, there it goes. I've yet to have it stay like this. Kind of nice. How close am I? Oh, perfectly close. All right. Oh, see, now it's doing it again. Oh, it's like locked on, kind of. No. Oh well. All right. I have to jack this power up. Yeah, and then let's see. When I turn this stampede on, it should start going up. Yeah, there it is. How many charges do I have in that? She's struggling. I hope the stampede doesn't fall off. I know I don't have that many charges left on my stampede. Just need to get up there. Just need to get up there. Just need to get up there. Hey, thank you so much for the like, man. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. 15 seconds. I don't know how many charges I have left in this. There we go. Drop this down a little bit.
Warning. Power critical. Warning. Power critical.
Oh, yeah. That was it. I just gotta hold it. Oh, that was the last charge too. Oh my god. Oh, that was the last one. Whew, that scared me. All right, there's the Bexelite. It's looking pretty good, man. It's looking pretty good trucking. I mean, it's the first rock of the day, so I knew my Stampede wasn't fully charged because I had used it some yesterday, and you're gonna have to repair it to get a new one put on, and I just didn't feel like changing it. I brought a set of surges with me in case like I really need them, but it just kind of it'd be all right. I love these new outlines they did for the rocks because it is so easy to see. And I love how when I send out a ping, it highlights all of the rocks. Oh, that's so helpful. You have no idea how helpful that is. You can just see everything you're looking at. Mining is nuanced, man. And I mean, they changed a whole bunch too with this patch. Like, this isn't how rocks used to look. Let's backslide split so ugly? Oh, okay, I can extract that. Do you mole mine or do you prospector mine? I really don't want to get out, but I'm gonna have to get out to go do that. Oh, you have both. Okay. Did you pledge them or were they in-game purchases? Speaking of in-game purchases, boy, the mole is expensive now. It's like 8.5 million. I think it is pricey now. It used to be like 5.25, I think, and now it's like it's in like the 8 mids. I think it's wild. In-game? Oh yeah. Well, it's a good thing you bought them now, because the prospector didn't really change in price, but the mole did. Mole's expensive. Oh, dude, some ships are so expensive. Like the 890 jump is like, oh my god, it's like 60 million. It's like something stupid. It's so expensive. Oh my goodness, dude, it's crazy. And then like the reclaimer is I think 30 now. It's like 33, 35. It's like crazy. What's the AUEC per my what? Oh, per hour? Well, I feel like with mining that's so subjective. I had a lot of people like knock me for how I calculate it, but I mean it kind of depends on how you're weighing it. If you're not counting, well, I guess you could count the travel time to per run, per hour, per run. I mean, generally I can get one of these runs in about 30 minutes. If I no nonsense from time I recall the ship to the time I hit refine on the refinery, we're talking like 30-ish minutes on average. Sometimes I can do a little quicker than that. It kind of depends on how lucky I get with like the rocks I find and how long I have to search. But I'd say you get decent rocks, I could pull probably between 0.5 mil to 1 mil an hour. Probably 0.5 mil to 1 mil an hour. Generally, I don't like to suck up anything that's not super worth it. I used to be big on like Hephaestionite and Beryl before they redid all the mining values. But after they redid the mining values, like really Bexlite and Terranite are like my go-to things.
Mining mode on.
I think what really eats up time is if you have to switch between turrets. That's the thing that like really holds you up. Or if like you're putting mining gadgets down, but generally I won't do that unless I have like a really big rock that I know like I want to break and fracture really nicely. I mean, other people's nice. Like my mole is set up for the, in my opinion, the best solo crew build you could do. Because my front laser, I can build that to break a 60k rock by myself. Like easily. Which is really nice. Not a lot of people can do that.
Mining mode on.
Oh, I guess we're going over here next.
Off.
So if you can break a 60k rock solo with just the front laser, then once you like switch it and you go like, and you have 2 people in the back lasers, which are my buff lasers, they're also my sub fracture lasers for solo, like you're chilling, honestly. low cost refining. If you would call it low cost, I mean, yeah, but there's not that much of a price difference because it's only like twice as much. So you're talking the difference between paying 10 or 15,000 as opposed to, God, look at this rock. Because generally that's what one of my mining runs is gonna take. It's gonna take like 15,000 to refine. But I mean, out of that 15,000, oh, it's such a good one. Oh my God, this is painful. It's gonna take like 15,000 to refine. So I wouldn't get too wrapped up in those numbers. The trick to mining, really, like to keep your profit per hour high, is the time that it's going to take you between runs. It's all of the little stuff, the climbing in and out of turrets, all of that adds like a minute, 2 minutes per run that you're doing. And that's really what eats up your time. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, it's gold. Lame. And positioning your ship. If you can position your ship pretty good for your brakes and your sub brakes, that's like pretty key too. I'll show you what I mean. Like right now, right? Like this is the big rock and this is the little rock. So I want all three of these rocks, right? So I'm gonna position myself in the middle here. I don't need my big laser. My little lasers can break all these, if that's what you would call them. So we're gonna position ourselves here. I'm gonna go up. We angle upward because lasers have better left to right and down than they do up. Like they can only go up so far because of how they're mounted, but they can look down obnoxiously far, and they can swivel pretty much the whole 180-degree arc that they're mounted to. And you really got to take advantage of that because, I mean, as funny as it is, these ships, I mean, I could fly this ship nose down, right, if I really wanted to. And as silly as that is, and mine like that, and my ship's not going to fall out of the sky. It probably should, right, because there's no thrusters on the face of this ship, really, that should be able to hold it in place. But it would totally work. So now I have easy view to that one. I have easy view to that one. And I have easy view to that one. And now I don't have to get out of my laser numerous times. Crank this up. And we're rocking and rolling. This is not the midnight paint. This is the Aphorite? I think it's the Aphorite paint. It's not the midnight paint. I wanted the midnight paint, but it's like, can I really justify buying the midnight paint? You know what I mean? Like to pay the money for that specific mole. I don't know. Maybe CCU chain it when I have a take on a Miri pulses and like get the carbon mole and then bump that on my way to a galaxy. Maybe, I don't know. Can you rank profitability for the rock, mole, and the claimer in 3.23 from 1 to 5? I mean, I find that kind of tough. You know what I mean? It kind of depends on how you want to look at it. Because if you're a new player, the rock is way more like achievable. C2 trade ones, that's fair. I mean, those are like your big money making things. But when it comes to like, okay, well, I'll rank it with like new player and veteran players in mind, right? Because depending on who you are, depends on how profitable that's really going to be. So like for a new player, the rock, I'd say a solid 4, maybe 4.5 for a rock, just because it's so new player friendly and you can make a pretty decent amount of money, right? You load that up in, let's say, a Nomad, which is a starter ship that's not that expensive if you bought it from the pledge store. You fit a rock in there, you can fly around, and I mean, you're not going to get rich off it, you know what I mean? But 200K an hour, yeah, it seems fair. I'd say, yeah, 200K an hour or so is pretty solid for a new player. I mean, you're pushing pretty good doing that, and you could get more if you like really buckled down and got after it. So, but for an experienced player, experienced player, it's more like a 1, right? Like it's kind of a waste of time because you have so much. Things are so expensive usually when you're an experienced player and you're like in game, quote unquote, so to speak. It's just, it's not there. What was the other one? The mole. I'd say for new and experienced player is kind of a bit of a 3. Whoa. Well, no, I'd say for a new player in the beginning, it's kind of like a 3, and later on it's kind of like a 4 because it's expensive to refine, and if you don't have the money to fork over, it can be kind of a hassle.
Extraction mode on.
Yeah, and that's true with the rock. Like it's nice that you can just like sell outright. But the mole, that initial cost of refining can be like a bit of a hit for some people. Like even starting 3.23, right? Like my first couple of mole runs, I couldn't make as much money because you sell for half as much if it's raw as you do refined. So like I'm giving up hundreds of thousands of dollars just to be able to start my money off, right? And then these runs kind of aren't worth it because then instead of making as much money as you want, you're making substantially lower. But for an experienced player, I'd say probably it's like 4.5 for a mole, because if you get really quick at these runs, you make $0.5 mil to $1 mil an hour, depending on how lucky you get. The reclaimer for a new player, it's not even really in the new player's wheelhouse. I mean, as a new player, like especially now, if you don't pledge it, it's gonna take you forever to buy it. I mean, like 32 million. That is a lot of money. That is a lot of money for a new player. Like I remember being a new player looking at the prices of ships, and like I thought $1 million was like, golly, dude. I was like, dude, who gets $1 million in this game? Like when a box mission or like a mid-tier bunker mission doesn't pay you even close to that. I was like, dream on, bro. I was like, there ain't no way people make that money. And then as you get up and you get like mole or prospector or something like that, like you kind of
Capturing mode on.
get into the space and you're like, okay, making this money is achievable. But a reclaimer for a veteran player, that's easily, like right now, that's probably a 5. Reclaimer's still a 5. They may have nerfed it, but I mean, you can do the math, right? Like a hammerhead gives you 220 or some odd construction materials per fracture. So like what's the math on that? Let me do that math real quick. So 222 times, and it's worth 1.5. It's worth 5,200, right? It's 5,200 SCU now. That's still 300,000 for one for one hammerhead. 300,000. Actually, honestly, the mole might be better. Hang on a second. The mole might be better.
Extraction mode on.
The mole might be. I might have to eat my words. The mole might be. I did not do the math on that. 1,500 SCU, 222 SCUs. The mole might be better. Now that I look at that math, because that means you're 333,000 in, right? And if you're by yourself, yeah, that's gonna take some time because you're gonna have to print those boxes and stack those boxes. Like the actual getting to the ship and disintegrating it and all that is pretty quick. But when you have to print, 16 XCU boxes, you're printing quite a few boxes. Like you're not gonna make nearly as much money. There's no way. Yeah, a mole might be better. Depending on how fast you can get the mole runs in, the moles might be better. Because right now I'm pushing, yeah, that's kind of, yeah, and I'm pushing 30 minutes. Now I've been doing a lot of like jaw jacking and stuff. But if I go to aerial, those 30-minute runs, super achievable. Super achievable. Yeah, the mole might be better. The only trade-off with the mole is you have to pay the refining costs, and then after the refining costs, you have to then ship it planet side. RMC is really good, but I mean, like, I don't know, a fully crewed mole versus a fully crewed reclaimer. That would be a tough one to argue, because if I put 2 people in here with me, just 2, right? I don't need many. Like, I could fly up, let them do all the heavy lifting, and they really don't need me to get out of the pilot seat. They can do all of the mining for me. And, yeah. But a reclaimer, you could have someone print and stack the boxes. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Mining mode off.
Lame. Okay, then you want to tell me anything? Where did I fly in from? I think I flew in from over here, right? I think so. The rock is a lot faster in a lot of ways. My thing with the rock is you gotta get lucky. I will say I have found huge. Oh, here we go. Look at this field. Speaking of rock mine, I've been finding these all over in my mole. Look how big this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 head. This is a 19 thing of Dolomine. 19. Like, I wonder if I'd find the same thing with Hadanite if I went somewhere else. Honestly, I'm gonna go get this Quantanium and I'm gonna call this a day for this run. No, I'm not gonna stop the stream, but we're gonna call this a run. I'm gonna go over here and get this Quantanium. I just noticed you have to wait for the quantum drive to spool up before you can enter travel speeds. It's kind of annoying. Now we're gonna snatch up this Quantanium and we're gonna head out. Yeah, because I mean, it's like an SCU of it, but I mean, that's 25K, right? Quantanium's expensive per SCU. Probably don't even need to crack this. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Hop out. We're gonna go to aerial after this. We'll get a quicker run in. That way it's not gonna take so long. Yo, thank you guys so much for the likes. Thank you. I always forget about that. I don't live stream too often. I always forget like how YouTube works with that. Okay, thank you. Does he say strapping's still good, but the TDDs are still overfilling with? Oh yeah, dude, it's crazy how they're overfilling with RMC, but I feel like no one does RMC though. Like as a Vulture pilot, it used to be so frustrating because like that's where you make your money as a Vulture pilot. And oh, that wasn't even an SCU. Lame. Oh, thanks guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now we're just having a good time, you know what I mean? Just some mining, a little bit of fun. See how everything goes. The Quantanium was not worth it. It's an SCU. If you guys don't know, when you refine, I've seen people ask like, what happens when like it's, I don't know, let's say you had 1.4 SCU refined, right? When you pick up your refinery order. So as you know, there is no such thing as a point something of an SCU box. So it automatically just rounds it up to the next highest SCU. So if it says, you know, 15.6 SCUs of barrel, right? 15.6, okay, well, it's not going to give you 15 because you have more than 15. So it's going to give you 16 SCUs of barrel or whatever the resource is, right? All right, maps. Those of you who don't know, I like to refine at her L2. My personal little... Oh, no, is it Faithful Dream, right? Yeah. Route. Close. Oh, there we go. That wasn't letting me close it. I was about to panic. You need to change the paint on the inside of the mole. You know what they need to change that's driving me nuts patch to patch? Is the refinery capacity. The refinery capacity is the most aggravating thing in the world for me. Because they don't... like, the patch just started. It hasn't been live, what? 72 hours? Not even? Not even 72 hours. All right, I'm going to go in that refinery. And when I go in that refinery... and I pull up that refine terminal, it's gonna say at extreme capacity, a large surcharge will be added. And it's 72 hours in the patch. They need to make the capacity for refineries larger, at least until they, what's it called? The Galaxy, the Arastra, and whatever that stupid refining ship is supposed to be called. Like, until those are in the game, they absolutely need to adjust their capacity, because I have to pay a large surcharge, like it's at 3,000%, and it's so high. And a lot of people don't even know it because, I mean, you're 72 hours into the patch, right? I mean, it was like this, to be honest with you, within the first 24 hours. It was already at this capacity. The only time I've never seen it at this capacity is like Wave 1 EPTU. And most people don't get to experience Wave 1 EPTU. But Wave 1 EPTU, like, you'll go in a refinery and it'll be at like 45% capacity. Like, super low. Because no one refines on EPTU. To be fair, I don't either. I just go in there to like check stuff for research purposes. But it's so cheaper. So much cheaper than what you normally pay. Because it's like, it could be no surcharge. Like, did you know that? There's like no surcharge to refining. Like, that's a thing. Like, yeah. Crazy, I know. But because it's always at extreme capacity, large surcharge, you're just so used to it. Like, that's all you ever see because that's just where it's at.
Quantum travel complete.
And you'll see. But that large surcharge, like, it eats, I mean, probably, I'd say a solid 10K of your refining cost comes from that large surcharge. I feel like they nerfed it, the XL1 quantum drive. I feel like it takes longer to cool down. It used to cool down way faster than that. From a jump like that.
Quantum travel engaged.
Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm tripping.
Quantum travel complete.
I actually just recently learned that nav mode is where all your speed is at now. Because I used to not understand why I could only go like 137 kilometers an hour. And it's because this stupid nav mode is where your speed is hidden at. You have to switch. I thought nav mode was for quantum specifically, and it is, but it's also like for all your high speed stuff.
Thank you.
No, Sasquatch, you didn't lose your ship components for the patch. They should have made it to whatever your home station is.
Please proceed to assign landing bay.
But you will have to put them back on your ship, right? So it sterilized your ship.
Down.
But it didn't like completely get rid of your components. Like I still had all my components. My mining laser, it should have kept everything except your money and ship rentals, but everything else should have been good.
Landing gear down. Landing
Landing
complete.
complete.
Engines off.
Thanks.
I'd say this haul probably like maybe around 200k ish, maybe. I could be off. It's probably a 200k haul, and it took a little longer than it should have. I mean, we're pushing like, I mean, take away all the time out of it, probably 35 minutes. So pretty slow as far as my mining runs go. Guys, please remind me to repair my ship. That way the module gets put back on it. A lot of people don't know that, but if your module falls off for whatever reason, when you do repair your ship, it counts that as part of your ship now. So it will put the module back on the ship when you repair it. So you don't have to like buy another one, go to the ASOP terminal and like, or sorry, your ship vehicle manager and like put another one on. You don't have to do that. You can, right? Like it's a way to do that, but you can just, once one's on there, it's, for lack of a better way to say it, permanently on there. And anytime it's gone, you just repair it, it'll come back. Same thing is true for permanent modules. Like, you know, you have some that have uses and some that don't, right? Like the Riker C3 is a permanent module. So it doesn't have uses, it just is always there. And it's more so more expensive, right? So if that falls off, which the only way that generally falls off is if your ship explodes, or like you blow up a rock and it'll knock your modules off. At that point, my recommendation is to just claim the ship. It's going to be way cheaper. You could claim the ship, expedite it for like 4,500, I think it is for the mole, and get your whole ship back. But if you drop 2 or 3 modules that cost like 20k a piece, that's 20k a piece. You know what I mean? Like that's expensive. Okay, so this is 180, because this is about half-ish of what you would actually get for refined. Maybe a little less than half. Kind of depends on what we're asking for. See, look at this, 7,000. Refinery currently has an extreme workload. A large surcharge will be added. Current capacity, 7,321%. That is what I'm talking about. That right there. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Set up work order. I'm gonna do Pharaon exchange is the faster. My Bex, my Quantanium, my Laranite. I'll do the tungsten too. The tungsten's eating up all my value. Say 23,000, like 10,000, that's probably coming from the other one. And then I would pay half that and get a third of the time if I went for Dink supplementation. Or 3 times as long for half the price for Dink supplementation. But confirm. All right, back to it. I want to buy mining modules, but I mean not mining gadgets, but they're expensive and I don't have the money for that. It would be nice though. feel like I have a nice PC. Right? You know, Star Citizen generally makes you feel like you don't, but I feel like now I do. It's to not. I just noticed I have a degree meter on the right side of my screen that tells me like how high I'm looking up. Oh, I can't even look up at a 90-degree angle. I can only look up at a 85-degree angle.
Welcome to the
Right,
Airsoft
and we're just gonna
Vehicle
store it to
System.
turn it around.
Vehicle select. Your
Finger
vehicle has
3.
been replaced.
We're averaging 60 FPS. My lows are like in the 30s. It's pretty solid. I do like this change that they move the thing here, and I don't have to look up at that. It's just right here in front of me. It's a low-key quality of life change right there. I'd like to find a big rock to break that's like 60, 70K. I think the biggest rock I've ever broken was like a 70K. Throw 3 surges on there, just rock and roll, baby.
Systems activating. Systems
Landing. See, repair 1.5K. That is how much a Stampede costs if you were to buy it from the store. That's exactly how much it costs.
quantum fuel 100%.
I wish some little dude in like a little buggy came out when you had to refuel your fuel and like came out and hooked a hose up to it and refueled you. Honestly, that will probably come in a later patch. But like a hose attaches to your ship and fills it up. That'd be pretty cool, actually. I'd be all about that. There's my hydrogen. And there it is. Right? And if I switch it to the front and look at my laser. 1, 2, 3 modules. Right there they are.
Launch complete.
I can also take off without my VTOL now, which is like super weird.
Landing gear up.
Thank you, and please visit again.
A cargo hold for the mole for extra set of bags. Bro, I would love if they would put bigger bags on the mole. Like, I've always thought that the mole was kind of underpowered for what it is. Because like you basically you have the power of 3 prospectors and you have larger mining lasers. But I think a balanced thing they should do to mining lasers has to do with extraction power. So this is my high horse along with the refinery is, okay, so you have like extraction power. Well, if you increase extraction power, it increases how fast you extract, right? But hear me out. If extraction power meant that you could extract larger rocks without fracturing them. Huh? Yeah, right? Larger rocks without fracturing them. Do you know how clutch that would be? Right? Because then you can make a build for your lasers, right? And like larger lasers would have more power, obviously. But you could have a build where you don't have to fracture as many rocks, right? You have larger laser, you can extract larger rocks, and you don't have to fracture them. which on the surface could be like, well, Fox, that's like really overpowered. That's not really fair. I mean, you say that, but the point of fracturing is to get less junk in your ship, right? I fracture it, I have access to it's like a better feel, right? Like if it's 40% Bexalite and I fracture it, I might get 100% Bexalite pieces. But if I can absorb it right away, sure, it saves me the time of having to fracture it, but now I must also take all of the junk that goes along with it. And it's a choice, right? Like it's a build choice. You'll have some people that are like, oh my god, that's the only way I'm gonna mine. And then you'll have some people that are like, I don't want to take all that junk. It's a waste of my time. So it's, you know, tomato, tomato, kind of how you want to view it. But I think that would be helpful use, because right now, extraction laser power means nothing, right? Like no one cares about extraction laser power. Like no one's building their lasers for that, right? You're either putting a Riker on it, torrents, stampedes, or surges, or torpedoes. That's pretty much it. Oh, it's dark. We have our first couple of oh, these are all good ones too. Oh, that's 2 giant ones. A 12 signature and another 12 signature. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh yeah. Uh-oh. I'm still in still in nav mode. I was about to say I'm probably moving way faster than I think I am. Back to my old stomping grounds. Oh, gross. Grease him and iron. I hate iron. Festonite's not too bad. Not the best, not the worst. That's why I don't really like aerial. This is iron. Iron is like the one thing you can't sell on Hurston, which is where I do all my selling at. All right. We'll get some of this stuff. Hop in one of the rear lasers. Agresium is a rock I just generally don't like, have a vendetta against, because among the fact that it has an obnoxious stats to mine, it also has a really shitty conversion ratio, which is how much material it takes to make an SCU, and it's like 400 or something stupid. It's like obnoxious.
Systems activated. Systems on.
400 material to make one SCU, as opposed to something like Terranite. I think Terranite has like one of the best of the expensive materials when it comes like mass to SCU ratio. Come on. It's gonna jump up and scare me. It's fucking with me right now. Come on now, this laser has way more power than it needs to break this rock. Come on, go play with me. Let's go. There we go. Oh, it's because I'm so far away. It's a big reason why I put Hofsteeds in the back, because they have obnoxiously long range. It's really cool in the front because you can, like, if you're kind of new to this, it could be hard to really get used to positioning your ship right, but whoa, 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 whoa.
Warning, power critical. Warning, power critical. Warning, power critical. Attack on shields.
Good thing I'm way over here.
Extraction
Well,
mode on.
there went all the Festonite. Yep. Oh, no. Actually, it's like all that stayed. Oh my goodness, bro. It's really gonna make me fracture this.
Fracturing mode on.
See, this is what I mean. This is so obnoxious. I have to fracture a 1K rock.
Warning, power critical. Warning, power critical.
Let's
Warning,
go.
power critical. Warning, power critical.
Great. Okay.
Extraction mode on.
Well, that was embarrassing. We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that at all. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. That's a veteran miner choking it right there. Don't worry about that. I need to get more picky with my rocks. I think that's my big problem here. I'm eating in the value of my cargo because I'm eating a little too much of the riffraff in my hull. I've gotten liberal in my old age. It's really annoying this laser doesn't line up with where I'm looking. Makes it really annoying to try to like extract precisely. %, 20%. There 30%. Well, off to the next rock. I really wanted that FS tonight. I was counting on that. I was counting on that FS tonight. No. Whoa. Whoa. Woo. I'm about to have the sadness of many people before me of falling out the front of my ship. Cheers, Sasquatch. Thanks for hanging around, man. Appreciate you being here.
Mining mode off. Mining mode on.
Saying some pretty big boys here. Let's hopefully get something worthwhile stowed away in here. Nope. There's just little guys. These should all be extractable right away if I wanted them. Although none of these rocks I particularly love.
Mining mode off.
I don't think I came from here, so let's head over here. Let's see if there's something good over here. Oh yeah, this looks good. Oh yeah, what do we got here? Okay. And there's one over there. Come on, give me something good, baby. Give me something good, baby. Nope. $16K. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Yeah, now we're talking. That's what I wanted. Oh, beautiful. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Oh yeah, we're cooking now. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Nice Terranite and a nice Quantanium rock. Solid. Solid. I'm gonna scan that rock. Okay. Well, this is gonna complete our haul. How much Terranite's in here? We're looking at 30 SCUs of Terranite and 10? More than 10. Maybe 12 or so of Quantanium. Solid. How big are these rocks? 16K. And 16K. I might be able to break these with my back lasers. Let me... I want to, because it would make my life easier. So my back left laser is built for subfractures. That's why it has a focus on it, because it makes the charge window bigger, or bigger than the other one anyway. But it lowers the laser power a little bit, so that way you don't have to worry about like fudging up the fractures because you have a little bit less power. But 16K rock, I might be able to break with this one. If I can't break it with this one, I'm gonna have to pull out the front laser, which is like a touch too powerful for these. And also it's gonna be like a big hassle because it makes the charge window smaller. If I could not do that, I would like to, but
Systems activating. Systems on.
let's see. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to pull out the other laser. Yeah, because I'm like right at the optimal zone too. Yeah, not happening. Shit. All right, well, let's go hop in Big Chungus and let's get this show rolling, I guess. I have to be really delicate with my touch here. I do not want to overcharge either of these rocks. This is a lot of money. This is a lot of money here. I mean, this is where you get your big holes right here. You get rocks like this, and you were just like absolutely chilling. How close am I? I'm not even in the optimal zone, and I'm already in the danger area. If I don't have to use the stampede, that would be optimal for this. Because the stampede's just gonna supercharge it so much when it drops that instability, and it's just like, oof. That little bit of nudge doesn't feel like much, but it is. Like right now, I'm at 100% power. That stampede will give me 35% more power, but it will seem like it is so much more. Next. Oh, yeah. And this one's not even gonna give me trouble. No, not even gonna give me trouble. Oh, it's much lower instability, that's why. I need to reposition my ship a bit. The thing blew up kind of big. These optimal charge windows aren't too small.
Warning. Power critical.
Oh, I'm not even sure. Oh.
Power critical.
Game's playing with me. There's a glitch sometimes where the laser is off, but the game doesn't think it's off. So then it overcharges. It still charges the rock, right? And that's what it was doing earlier. And like, if you're not careful, right, it'll happen so fast that you can't even stop it, because it'll shoot all the way to the top of your overcharge zone, and there's just no recovering it.
Warning. Power critical. Attack on shield.
Like there will be zero recovering it. I mean, you saw that happen with the Festinite rock earlier, right? Like that's what that was. Is it charged and then it shot up, and by the, you know, if you have too much power going into it, like by the time you see it, you're like, oh shit, it's too late. Already too late. Already too late. And you just kiss it goodbye.
Mining mode on.
Right there. Should be good to go. And now we're gonna hop in the number 1 laser, which is in the back left. Less power. Hopefully I don't need to do any subfractures, but if I do, be good to go. Oh, this is so helpful. You have no idea how nice quick interact is when you're playing on a controller. Oh, you have no idea. Like on a mouse and key, it's like whatever, but on a controller, oh, it's everything.
Extraction mode on. Mining mode on. Fracturing mode on. Extraction mode on. Fracturing mode.
And this is where that low power comes in handy. And now I can make my charge window nice and big. My power can be nice and low, and you have maximum control in like the least amount of room to mess up. Now, with how powerful my front laser is, imagine the buffs between this laser, which is a 100% optimal charge window expansion, and the other one, which is 60. But the optimal charge window is just that much bigger. Oh yeah, 65% Terranite, yep. Give me that, baby. Beautiful. This is gonna be a good run. This is gonna be one of those runs that's like, you're starting to push like the 1,000,000 threshold. So ideally with this, right, we had 60 SUs of space left. 60 SUs of space, but only like 40 SUs realistically of material. So I'm probably gonna have to pick up some stuff like I don't want, right, to maximize my throughput here. But I'm not gonna refine the iron. I don't refine iron. I don't do that. Because I only sell in Hurston, and if you want to sell iron, you have to go somewhere else. And I don't care to do that. Like it is one, like Hurston has some of the highest prices to sell most things. So I like Hurston the best for selling. And I'm not going to take just iron across the galaxy to sell in New Babbage just because New Babbage will buy it. I could care less. I really could care less. Oh, the music stopped. My bad, guys. That was kind of a bit awkwardly quiet. Anyone know where this music's from? Hey, thank you so much for the like, man. I'd honestly be surprised if you guys knew where this music was from. This old school space game. This broke pretty okay. That was a pretty okay break for this rock. Alright, about time to start sucking up this Quantanium. So the trick for Quantanium, if you're not used to mining it, is you want to do all of your fracturing and scanning up front to maximize your time on the back end, because you have 25 minutes from the moment your first Quantanium is sucked up into your ship. The moment the first Quantanium sucked up, you get 25 minutes. So if I do all my fracturing and scanning ahead of time, then I know what rocks I'm after and I know which ones are the most valuable. And I don't have to waste time fracturing, right? When you have two people, this is so fast. It is so fast.
Fracturing mode on. Extraction
That's a big one.
mode
That's a nice one
on.
right there. Little trick too is if you switch to fracture mode, if you don't see the charge window, then you know it doesn't have to be sub-fractured. And that is what we're after. No sub-fracturing at all.
Fracturing mode on.
And some of these I'm like not sure, because like it could be weird, right? It could be like a weird sub-fracture. And this is why I left all that room in my hull, even though I only needed 12 from this one, because the Quantanium did not
Fracturing mode on.
break very well because I didn't have a gadget attached to it.
On. Fracturing mode.
And it begins.
Extraction mode on.
So I'm gonna have to take this entire rock. So ideally we want to maximize all that. Volatile cargo. Use caution and avoid damage to keep the cargo stable. So now I make sure I get all of the Quantanium because I wanted all of the Quantanium. So now I need to start with the higher percentages of Quantanium. That way, in case I do, in case I'm not able to bring it all, I'm getting the best bang for my buck here. Because we're pushing it. For sure. We might get it all. 4 SCUs. This is 2 SCUs. Yeah, we'll probably get it all. And then what was there supposed to be? We think like 12 overall, right? Is what we thought. There's another half. We'll get like 10.
Warning.
Boom.
Storage
That was what we wanted. 10 SCUs Quantanium. Man, I stopped that Terranite right at the perfect time. Like, it's literally almost too much Terranite. And that's why you're picky. Your percentages, you typically want to go like no less than 40% when it comes to something like Terranite Bexlite of what you want. Like the mid 30s, like shooter's preference type thing, but 40% for sure is what you're after. Because I used to measure everything off what a round of barrel would cost. Oh shit, I could see the asteroids from space. Alright, maps. That's a pretty good run. I mean, I didn't like the iron, but didn't care much for the iron, but I'm a big fan of getting the Quantanium and the Terranite, though. Alright, let's go turn this load in. Beautiful. Most beautiful. I really like mining on Microtech because it's so pretty. It's just such a hassle. You know what I mean? Because like the winds, they need to fix that, or like the winds blow your ship. Like my ship is stable. You know what I'm saying?
Quantum travel complete.
I don't understand why. Oh yeah, they definitely nerfed the cooldown of this. I don't understand why my ship can get blown around. And the most annoying part is like once I step foot into the pilot seat, it doesn't do that. Like I don't blow around. Like the moment my butt hits the seat, my ship will start moving. I'm just like, oh my god. The Microtech's just so pretty.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay. Have
Oh yeah. Smooth.
Landing complete.
landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Engines off.
Silky smooth. Silky smooth. A lot of people complain about that new flight mode thing. I kind of like it. Like as I get used to it, it's kind of nice, and I feel like ships are more responsive with master modes. Like before, like it was so hard to kind of slow down, but like I just whipped that ship around, and those giant rear thrusters actually slowed me down, and like never do that. good habit with Quantanium is to always store your
Welcome
ship.
to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
You always do that first because storing your ship stops the instability countdown, which is very, very much needed. I think one of the funniest things I read happened to me was I 30k'd and I had like half a ship full of Quantanium. Like, I didn't make that up. Half a ship full, and like it was when they finally implemented 30k protection. So I like saw it, my ship was there. I spawned on Hurston. I was like, oh, it's so sweet. And when you're less than 5 minutes of time remaining, your ship goes like, meh, eh. Not a lot of people get to that point. I did, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I have all the Quantanium. And that was before the pilot seat had a mining mode, so you had to go get into a mining laser to see what your cargo was. And I went and saw that it was there, and I saw the timer, and I was like, oh shit. So I instantly had to like run up, climb the ladder as quick as I could, hop in the ship, leave orbit of Hurston, which, you know, it takes a bit of time, and jump to her L2. Oh yeah, see, here's 212. So times that by 2, you're looking at like 420-ish. So not a bad haul. There's a lot of iron in it. It added up a lot of my value. Argo mole, work order, and exchange. Look at that. Half of my mole is iron. And that's where you lose value, is the more junk you have in a haul, the less you're gonna like actually have. So look at that, 40,000. It's gonna cost me 10%, because it's gonna sell for over 400, right? So this is gonna cost me 10% to refine. So realistically, I'm making 40% more by refining it and going to sell it direct. Look at that. That's a pretty order. That's a pretty order. That's an okay order. I'm surprised I have Quantanium in every order, though. Kind of gotten lucky finding a little bit of Quantanium here and there. I just realized that was expensive. That was 40k. How much money do I have? 159. Okay. Oh, probably one of my next lives, might be a short one, we'll see, is going to be actually going and selling my haul. Pulling up the old C2. I'm going to sell that puppy. Wish the Caterpillar was a bit better, because I think the Caterpillar's kind of just cooler. It's like unique, you know? It's just a bit of a different feel of a ship. Feel like I'm flying a giant hot dog.
Welcome to Meta Unit.
If you guys don't know me, I'm actually quite lazy in this game, and if I'm doing mining runs, I generally don't purchase or bring food.
You should consult the terminal.
I just go back and forth to the clinic. Because if you don't know, the clinic, while it will heal you, it will also replenish your water and food. And is much quicker and does not require nearly as much effort. Okay, it brought back up. And we're good to go. Off to some more mining. I want to go to aerial. My only problem with mining on aerial is like it's convenient because it's close, is inconvenient because of iron. Like if there was no iron on aerial, oh my god. Oh, let me tell you. Oh. You're living in a lap of luxury.
The ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle select. Your vehicle has been delivered. Please visit us.
Oh, hangar 3. Let's get it. tank off. Do I want to go to aerial? Even me. I keep forgetting that this is spawns down here now. You have all this room in the back of the mole, but like no way to access it. I feel like the elevator should extend backwards and encompass a little bit more. Like I would enjoy that better. Let's try this. Let's see if I can get us in a little bit quicker. Let's see, it's 12:28 my time. See if I can maximize how fast we do this. 12:28. The goal is to be back, hit the refinery button at 12:58. That's the goal here. 12:58. That's the goal here.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Oh my goodness. Minute run. That's what we're doing. That's what we're shooting for. 30 minutes. In and out. In and out 30 minutes. Quick adventure. Let's do it. That's such a handy little feature this year. It tells you how much quantum fuel exactly you have. Although this is not updating. Route, acquired fuel, group leader. Well, this isn't gonna have nobody in my group, but this not updating for what it is.
Quantum travel complete.
Mason and Grimm's on. Back to aerial. Let's not do it in the night. I wasn't trying to be the night side of it earlier, so we're gonna go to the day side. A little bit nicer to look at. Have a bit of fun there. All right. How far is that HDMS license? That should be on the sun side. We'll just go ahead and roll myself over. Let's fly me right into the night. Yep. Sure enough did.
Quantum travel complete.
HDMS Bezdek.
Quantum travel engaged.
Dude, I can see the mining station from here. That's crazy render distance. That was crazy. I like up my settings and like how far I can see now. It just like blows my mind. I'm still not in the sun. You have to shit me. No, there it is. 22 kilometers away, and I can still see that. All right, pull up the map. Oh, I can see which side is the sun side. HDMS Lathan. I guess nowhere I can be. It's in the sun. Oh, there we go. Oh, big signature. Big signatures. Big signature, baby.
Mining mode off.
All right, let's see what we got here, boys.
On.
15K. Exolite, okay. What about you, hefty boy? What you got for me? 35. Gold. Lame. A gold. That could have been like any other material. It would have been solid. Fest tonight. It's not bad. So many rock. Look over there. That's crazy. There's so much. We've got a nice little nest of a field here. Resium, don't care. Well, it looks like that Bexolite's going to be our best bet for this patch. I'm going to fly over there and go get that one. Whoa. Oh, that's a big rock for no reason. Okay. Well, let's fly over here and get this Bex rock. 15K. Oh, we're slideshowing a bit. Easy, baby girl, easy. Whoa. Oh, we're slideshowing a bit. Oh, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? There we go. The server's struggling a bit. I'll try this back laser. I think this back laser might have it. We'll see. Possibly. kind of a lower instability. I mean, lower resistance, and a little bit lower mass than the last one we tried. Kind of want to see what the limits of this laser is. I stop myself from wasting time in the future. There's just a lot going on screen right now. Oh, I didn't angle myself well. I see, like, now this one, see, remember we were doing that 16K rock earlier, and like this was struggling, it couldn't even get it to go up, and now this is a 15K rock, and I'm not even at 100% power. What in the world is this about? What's this about? Oh my goodness, I'm slideshowing. What's going on? My frames. There's something going on screen. My GPU usage is shot up right now, and I don't know why.
Extraction mode on.
Like, I don't quite see what's happening. That's causing me all this grief. 40%, take it. 40%, I'll take it. I know I can hit that rock with the extraction laser. I just want to be able to scan it to see if it's worth having. Oh, no. It's not. Okay, yep. At 1%, I don't even need to scan it anymore. I already know it's, I mean, they're stupid. I'll have to fracture that. So that's an annoying rock to fracture right there. That rock is not that big. It's a 22.5K rock, and it wants me to fracture it. Like, you've got to be joking. I don't know what it is about where I'm looking right now that's causing all this, like, FPS drop. There are little monsters on the... There's the little doggies on the screen that I don't see. No. Oh, I hate taking this much iron. It's so gross.
Fracturing mode on.
Drop that laser power down for sure.
Warning. Power critical. Extraction mode.
That's such an annoying rock to fracture. It's 2.5K. I would have just took it as it is. Now you're gonna split up all my Bexelite into all these inconvenient pieces. %. There's no Bexelite in that. I just get pretty used to what rocks materials look like. You just know like what's gonna be right, what's not. Like resistance is pretty high on Bexelite, so if I see a rock with like next to no resistance, then it's like, oh, I don't even need to finish scanning it. I already know it's not gonna have that much Bexelite. I do like how I can see rocks underneath the surface. That's pretty helpful. Although kind of frustrating when I can't reach it. Let's see, what do we got here? %. All right, well, that's it for that. Let's get out of this slideshow area here. My CPU utilization right now is below 20%. My GPU usage is through the roof. Oof, okay. My GPU is sweating. Oof, okay. That's definitely something over here. Something wherever my ship is facing is causing this. Because it's not doing it in the back of the ship, so.
Mining mode on.
There we go. Oh, baby. Yeah, that's what I want. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, there's some rock minables over here too. How big is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I wonder if it's as easy to see those in a non-mining ship. Because this is in mining mode, so I wonder if I was not in mining mode. This would still be as easy. 20k, 42% backslide. What? That's what I'm talking about. As of the point, I'm not even gonna scan a rock if it's not like big enough. That's nice. 50% Vexilite? That's pretty nice. Remember you. These big boys. Alright, well I've seen the 2 Vexilite rocks I'm looking for, so we're gonna grab those up. $19K. Oh, Lucretium. Lame, don't care. Okay. Not that rock off by itself, is it? Was it this one? No. This one. 11K, 50% backs. Yep. Yes, sir. There we go. Frames seem to be stabilized a bit. GPU is not working overtime. Much more tolerable. Okay.
Extraction mode on. Mining mode on. Fracturing mode on.
There ain't no way. I'm gonna have to get closer. That's my problem. I have to get closer.
Mining mode on.
Oh, we're coming out. We got like 9 more minutes. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. 9 more minutes. Open.
Mining mode on. Mining mode on.
I could just set all these doors to just be open. That would be preferable.
Fracturing mode on.
There we go. This haul is not bad, but this 50% Bexlite rock, this is solid. I mean, this should be 25 SUs of Bexlite. Hey, this is the kind of rock I would put a gadget on just to make that cluster fatter just a little bit better.
Extraction mode on.
Okay, and fracture. Boom. Oh, good. I don't have to fracture that. I was about to be concerned. Oh, what rock am I extracting? It's picking up like nothing but iron. Whoa. Picking up that one. Whoa. Want all that iron? Get that shit out of here. Gumming up my stuff. If I can, hopefully this is a Bexlite rock. I can take this and another rock will fall out of the way. Yep. that's a nice one. And reach the rock. There we go. Oh wait, no. Oh, wait. There it is. I think we're gonna bust time here, fellas. I think we're gonna bust time. Really don't want to have to fracture this rock. That's gonna make me. I think this is gonna be my last run for today, everybody. Once we finish it. I know we're trying to make this a 30-minute run, but I think we're gonna bust 30 minutes. I'm pretty confident we will. Okay. It's all these million little pieces now. I would have just taken it exactly as it was. I gotta scan 200 mass chunks. Which, I mean, they're pretty okay chunks, right? It's just, there's a million of them. Come on, come on. Oh yeah, definitely want that one. It could save me just a whole lot of trouble if it had just let me absorb the whole rock. I was gonna take the whole rock anyway. Alright, that's it for this one. This is a solid haul. I mean, a full haul of, if you had pure Bexlite, right, is roughly, I'd say 88, right? After refining, 88 times 7,500, that's half a mil, right? So you're pushing half a mil with a full like Bexnite or Terranite load. Really more than that. You're pushing 660, assuming you had riffraff in your hull, which you're going to, right? Getting pure anything is like next to impossible. So your best bet at that point this was 40%. 20k rock. 42%. Not quite sure why I'm so framey right now. It must be this server's like struggling or something. Never quite been this framey before.
Systems activating. Systems on.
You're still stuck behind this seat? What do you mean it's stuck behind the seat? I can get in the turret. I have no UI in front of me. Sometimes you have to move it around. I'll show you when I do this rock, but sometimes you have to move it around. Whoops. Not the modules? Okay. Yeah, so like, see how I do that? I'll watch. It like jitters. Sometimes it doesn't follow me though. Like right now it is, but normally it doesn't. Sometimes you just have to move it around to get it to actually activate. Sometimes it'll stay like it is right now, which is weird, but a lot of the time it won't. And you have to move around to get it to like re-engage and like reinitialize to lock on to what you're doing. That's the best thing I can think for you to tell you. Is it in your mole or is it something else? Is it your mole or is it your prospector? Well, I guess you said turret. I guess it would have to be prospector. Oh my goodness, it's gonna make me subfracture all of these. Oh, I don't have to subfracture. Oh yeah, I will. I'm gonna have to subfracture this one. Yeah, man, you have to move it around a bit to like really get it to work. I know it's frustrating, and then mine do the same. The HUD is stuck in at the max right of the turret, looking in free look to see the HUD. Yeah, let me hop in another turret and let me show you something. I already hopped out of that one. I'll show you something that the turrets do, and I don't know if you've corrected that. Because there is a weird turret problem with the mole right now. I don't know if it's with like all turrets, but it does it with the mole turrets. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Where when you first get into the turret, it doesn't quite line up with where you're looking. And I agree, it's like really frustrating and annoying. So I'll show you what I mean. So you have this, right? And like the turret follows me. Oh, see, there it goes. But see how the turret follows me? Now, if I do this... Wait, no, that's not what I'm talking about. Why isn't it doing it? Alright, see how I'm like kind of looking, but like the turret's not following me exactly, right? Like when I'm in front, it kind of lines up, right? But like, see how the turret's off to my right? But my straight forward is not lined up with the turret. And like I look over here and I'm not lined up with the turret. So this could be the problem you're having, right? So to fix this, if you hit left alt L, it'll line you up and it'll stay lined up. So that could also be the problem you guys are having, is that you have to hit left alt L and make that line up like it's supposed to. Why it does that, I have no idea. I know they added a lot of features and changed a lot of stuff in this patch, so it could just be a result of a new thing they put in. But is that more like what your turret's doing? Or is it kind of, it's lined up right, it's just the hood itself isn't lined up? Whoa. It's line right. I can recenter the turret. It's okay, but HUD doesn't follow. That's super weird. Yeah, man, that's like, I have not had that issue. Like, it does that, as you can see with me, how it kind of like doesn't quite follow exactly, but it comes and goes. Like right now, I think it's doing it the best it's done all day. Where like it'll readjust to my front, but see, now it's not. And I'll have to like jitter left and right, these big movements to try to get it to line up. And see, now it just lined up again. Yeah, take it to the council, baby. I definitely think the mole turrets are doing something weird, for sure. For sure. I think like the lining up thing is just like this pertinent thing. You can only see if you go max left or right. That's super weird. That's so wacky. I mean, you know what, man? It's just like, it's a new feature of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the new way to mine. Like, the rock is this way, but you're here. You know what I'm saying? You're here. You know what I mean? This is where you're at. This is your UI. This is mining 3.23. What's up? That's good stuff. This game not working correctly? I don't believe you. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Get these guys out of here. This game works perfectly. There is nothing wrong with this game. I turned the turret max right, then free look right to see the hood mirrored. Oh, goodness. Oh, my Lanta. Yeah, I nearly about like threw my controller across the room. I play on controller. Weird, I know. We can cross that bridge later. But like, when I had the Alt-L problem, oh my goodness. Do you know how annoying that was to try to like scan stuff? Or just do anything mining related when it's not centered. Probably similar to the frustrations you guys are having, but I was just like, dog, killing me. I'm gonna have to adjust my ship. Oh, don't blow up. You can do it without the HUD? My man. Like a real man. Oh, you're saying you'll try it without the HUD? Brave soul. That's okay. I blew up a rock earlier because of, you know, server lag. And totally not because I did way too much juice. Alright, this is supposed to be a 30-minute long run, and then I grossly overshot that by 10 minutes now. Honestly, that'd be pretty impressive if you could mine a rock and do it. Because the problem is you don't necessarily have indicators of it cracking right away. You know what I mean? Master mining mode. Yeah, I actually, you know, you have to put your ear up to the rock while you mine. Can you imagine a hand miner down there and like a dude with like a multi-tool out with the with the mining attachment, and he's like monitoring the overcharge level like that? Imagine the stress that dude would be under. It would be immense. Oh, you might blow your friend up. Might send him into the next the next server. All right, this is kind of annoying. I want the rock beneath it. If you guys don't know, this cool new feature with mining is when you scan, like when you send out a ping, it will highlight all of the mineable rocks in blue now. So you don't have to like try to like figure out what's where. Sure, they have symbols on them too, which is pretty helpful. What is that symbol, by the way? It gets smaller when I zoom in. That's immensely not helpful. That's like a little spiral. Honestly, it's easier to see now zoomed out. But yeah, you can scan and it'll make everything light up blue that you can mine, which is so easy. It's like so good at night. Honestly, I'm about to blow this rock up.
Attack on shields. Extraction mode on.
Man, whatever.
Mining mode on.
Your lasers don't even turn on? What? Bruh. I had to throw the whole ship away. My GPU would break. Let me just stare at this corner. Let my GPU. My GPU's been like redlining at 99% for a minute there. Oh, look at that. 0 render latency. Oh. The majesty. All right. I don't understand what's going on with Ariel right now, but this, my frames, they hurt.
Mining mode on.
All right, that's making me nervous. Oh, there's no way I'm scanning that rock, yeah. It's beneath the surface. Oh, there we go. Something about the surface of the planet that's doing that. It's weird. All right. It's a weird place to have low frames. Super weird. All right, everyone, let's take it to Faithful Dream Station. I'm still in atmosphere. I'm barely in atmosphere. It used to be the trick in oh my god, look how big my signature is when I'm in nav mode. Is if I was selling drugs, right? And I was going to one of the sell points, I would stay in orbit and get above, right? So I'd still be in quantum jump ability. Because you don't need to quantum jump far, you just need like quantum jump to like the other side of the planet. So I would fly up. And then if I got someone on radar, anybody on radar, oh, you could forget it. Yeah, I was gone. Yep. Jump across planet, land, bed log, switch server. Immediately.
Quantum travel complete.
I'm the most skittish man ever when it comes to that. Oh, that would stay calibrated. That's good to know.
Quantum travel engaged.
So that diamond that stays on the screen is really weird. Actually, but then the issue council. That's super strange.
Quantum travel complete.
My ship was so crispy. Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool.
Landing gear down.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Landing gear up.
Now my frames look immaculate.
Landing gear down.
I feel like I'm playing on a Sega Genesis anymore.
Complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Off.
Oh, thank you so much for the like, man. Thank you. All right, this isn't going to be the most amazing haul, but probably 300,000 total. Total. Okay. Kind of want the carbon black skin, but I don't know. I don't know if I could justify spending the money to buy a mole for black skin. But I mean, like, it's black. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But
Welcome
it's black.
to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Please visit us.
Oh yeah, I need to finish my overdrive intel stuff. All right, let's see what we got here.
Cantonment, please report to management as soon as possible. Cantonment to management.
This backpack's like obnoxiously big. Don't worry, I'm not selling it here. I just use this to see how much it's worth. 13, 14, that's basically 14, so 140, so 280, yeah, almost the 300 I thought it was. I'll go mole, 8,574% capacity. Jeez. All right, nope, screw that iron. Get quote. Yep, it's gonna cost me about 10%-ish or so to do it. Okay. Firm. Don't care about the iron. A lot of Bexlite. Bexlite in every run. Interesting. All right, everyone. Well, I appreciate you guys being a part of this stream. It's been a fun time. You know, we're building up our money, building up the bank for 3.23, preparing for all the fun stuff that's going to happen. We do need to complete overdrive, probably do some more mining, but don't know if that's going to happen today. If so, it would be like many hours at best. But you guys have been awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys in the next one.